aside from cost savings, which are massive cost savings. So I've seen companies saving 6 figures even in this area just from implementing wellness programs. And then there's additional information. If you want to go to the chamber, they go to this. What is just the Chamber of Manitowoc website?
Tomorrow we'll be putting on the website. It's www.chambermanitowoccounty.org, and on the what is that called? Chamber or the Member Resource Library.
Okay.
Under that link, you'll see the presentation.
Awesome. There are actually also a lot of good games you can play with your teams. If you do have a health team, if you Google employee wellness program activities or games or competitions, challenges they call them, there are so many cool, fun things you can do within your business, even if you have 3 employees or 300 employees. I'm so impressed with how much people have put into this. There's a lot of head data. Again, I'm kind of geeking out on that kind of stuff. I love it. At the same time, when you see people around you get invigorated, get motivated, productivity goes up, it's a better place to work. It's fun. Makes work fun. You can measure lots of things. We talked about these things: weight, BMI, blood pressure, and these are usually measured in a work program. How will you know it's working? Well, people don't use their insurance as much. They feel better. They're more productive at work. And there are all sorts of surveys out there as well. You can also measure some of these things when you're going through a program. Is anybody here trying to set up a work wellness program currently? You're thinking about it? Or you already have one? You guys have one. Okay. All right. If you want more information, let me know. I knew I had quite a bit. Apple Clinic, as far as the chiropractic clinic, we do on-site and off-site lunch and learns. We can do local spinal assessments. We have this really cool digital foot scanner. Amazing how many people have 60% of their weight on one foot versus the other. It gives you a really cool color printout of how the arches in your feet are. We do shoe inserts as well. We have some specific ones for cement flooring for factories and industry. We work on extremities. Some chiropractors do, some don't. So carpal tunnel, knee problems, hip, elbow, ankle problems. And then I do a fair amount of fitness programming, but more so currently it's been small groups or private one-on-one coaching if you really want fitness information that's tailored to you. The biggest challenge I had with this talk was trying to cover this broad scope of what everyone wanted. Keep things simple. Remember the SMARTY, recruit professionals, and really seriously consider that 3x5 card and dry erase marker. You feel it is, I'm all about that because it's so simple. All right. Let me see if there's anything else burning that I need. Post-exercise food. After exercise, just eat something right away. They usually say carbs. Carbs are good. Your body likes to have a little bit more sugar because it burned up most of its sugars. So after exercise, if you can immediately, say within a half an hour, eat something for sure. Something with a little sugar would be great. Sugar meaning fruit sugar, not like a candy bar. Okay, for real, yes?
So you had said meat, vegetables, some fruit, so carbs, what following that with those
Fruit. And then some like tuber vegetables like potatoes. White potatoes, it's okay. You're better off with sweet potatoes if you can, or squash. Sweet potatoes after a workout are great because they're almost really as sugary as like an apple or a banana, a roasted or baked sweet potato. Spaghetti squash and some of the other squashes are less sugary, but they still have carbs as well. So that's something to consider. But realistically, for the majority of the population, a sweet potato is probably higher on the health scale than what they might have been eating after a workout anyway. Oatmeal, I don't do a lot of oatmeal, but oatmeal is not bad. The long cook oatmeal is better than the quick oatmeal. Long cook takes like 3.5 minutes. The quick is 1.5 minutes, so it's not, it's kind of the same really. And if you can cook your oatmeal so it still has some texture to it and it's not just melted into that really soft paste, if you keep it a little firm, it'll be less sugary, but it still has enough sugar in it. So I love raisins in oatmeal, a little bit of sugar, or cinnamon and honey. For sugar, I use sugar right now. I've been using stevia, but I think I do have like, what do they call it? What's the cactus? There's some other name.
Agave.
Agave, thank you. All I can see is a cactus in my mind. Some agave, and I go, hey, cactus. That doesn't in my oatmeal. That sounds awesome. I'm glad you guys are motivated to use that. Agave sugar. There are lots of other healthy sugars as well. So some carbs after exercise. As far as educating, there are some online resources that will put up newsletters. We have some of that at Apple Clinic, but not as fully developed as I'd like to. We do, as I mentioned, the on-site lunch and learns, but there are some companies that will give you those, and sometimes your insurance company will do it. They give you those little health newsletters you can stick. I see them usually on the back of bathroom doors or in walls in break rooms. They'll change every month, or they'll send you a PDF every month, and you can just update it. Also, if you can get people involved in the Facebook page where they're posting stuff, even better, because then you don't have to do the work, and we've created a team environment. Maybe they're posting, hey, I saw this, a link to a website, I saw this cool website, check it out. Continue weight loss. Being healthy at work all comes to snacks and choices. Keep them in your desk. Snack-wise, you really just have to plan ahead. If you walk out of here and you're thinking, I always eat a candy bar in the afternoon, or that lady down the hall for me always has a dish of candy on her desk, just plan ahead. Don't walk by her desk anymore, or walk by like this so you can't see her. And have an apple, have some cheese, have some almonds, something that's a quick snack in your. Same thing. Oh, meal schedule, super fast. I know we've got to end. Meal schedule is, if you can divide your meal up into small. You asked me the question on meal schedule, right? There's a lot of different stuff out there. The fastest way and the easiest way I will tell you is to try to eat 5 times a day. I probably eat 7, but I would say at least 5 if you can. 3 okay-sized meals and 2 snacks-ish. And I'll show you super fast. So watch this. Let's say you're trying to get 1,600 calories in a day. And again, if you want to know how many calories you should have in a day, you can Google how many calories should I have in a day, and there's all these calculators online. And I could have talked you through it, but it's probably the easiest way. So let's say you have, all right, so that's 1,200. Is that right? That's up to 1,600, right? Yep. Nice. All right. So the point is, if you have 400 calories at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you have 200 calorie snacks, you're good. And the beauty of snacking throughout the course of the day is that it continues to stoke your metabolism. When you overload your metabolism, like for those people who never eat breakfast and then they have this like big lunch or have a little lunch and then this massive dinner, it's not like at the end of the day your body says, oh good, you got 1,600, we'll just deal with it, we'll figure it out. You kind of go into that whole starvation mode, and you can overload that caloric bucket, if you will. So it can handle doses and doses, but when you pour too much in at once, it overflows into fat stores. Okay? So if you just did this, it's an easy way to break it down, 400, 200, 300. Okay? It's okay to eat before you go to bed. If you're eating, this one last is my most favorite thing, is that if you're eating meat, veggies, fruit, and nuts, you can eat almost as much as you want, as long as you're not pouring butter and gravy and stuff on them. It's not abnormal for me to eat bacon and eggs. I already had bacon and eggs today, and 6-ounce ribeye steak for breakfast. That's what I had. And before I go to bed, I might have the same thing, just so you know, because I really like bacon and eggs. So the point is, but do I eat artificial sugar all day? I've had a couple blackberries and a couple blueberries today and 1 apple so far. So it's kind of liberating, because you can eat. Maybe it's the bottom line. You can eat. You should eat. So don't starve yourself. But when you combine a ribeye steak and a bag of like chips or candy, that's when you start to get into trouble. It's too much for your body to deal with. Last story, frog versus a crab. There were 2 frogs sitting on a lily pad. 1 frog decides to jump off. How many frogs? 1 frog decides to jump off. How many frogs are left on the lily pad? All right. There are 3 frogs. Take your time, I will tell you. There are 3 frogs still on the lily pad because 1 decided. It decided, but it didn't do it yet. It didn't take an action step. It hasn't jumped. Got it? So I want you to think about that and think about what you're willing to do. And I really only want you to walk out of here with 1 or 2 things that you do. I gave you so much information. I broke all the rules of public speaking. I'm supposed to only teach you 3 things. But I really love this stuff, and I love you guys, and I want you to see whatever positive influence you want in your life. So make the decision, but take 1 action step that you can do later today or tomorrow. And the crab in the bucket, everybody know the crab in the bucket story? When you go fishing for crabs, or whatever you call it, I call it fishing, I'm not sure. What is it? Crabbing for crabs, right? Do you know that they don't